Coming up this week on The Local Game, we'll take a deep dive into the results from the weekend, plus a surprise resignation in the State League 2. Keko's Inbox makes a return as messages flood in across the weekend. Plus, I'll be catching up with Adrian from Vipers FC to get an update on their facilities. That's all to come in today's episode of The Local Game. Welcome to The Local Game. It is double digits. It is episode 10. I'm wearing a new shirt just for the occasion, and thank you for joining us once again. What a big week in football, and what a night to be joined by one of the guys that's been with me. I think this is the third time now. Marc Talbot, good to have you back on board.
Thanks for having me back. I think I'm here just for the milestone episodes.
You are. Episode 1, episode I think 5, and now episode 10. There you go. You're here for all the milestones. But I'll get you back for episode 21 soon as well.
Sounds good. And 18.
And 18, yes. Well, we got a lot to get through in tonight's episode. We're going to talk about all the things that happened on the weekend. The big one as well is that big occasion on Saturday night. There's a lot to talk about it, but not only about off the field, but on the field as well. But let's get straight into the hot topics, because that does include the hot topics this week, which is the Saturday night spectacle is something incredible. Over 1,000 people. I heard about 17 to 1,800 people across the day came there, and not only was it just the people that were there, but the noise and the atmosphere that they created was something special about local football on the night.
Oh, look, it was an amazing night. It was a real advertisement for the local MPL. If they want to get word out, they want to advertise, they just need to use that, because it was just massive. As you said, 1,700 people. The one side of the stadium was full of FK Beograd. The other side was full of Croatian Raiders. It was just a great atmosphere to be in.
Yeah, it was something special. I had the privilege of being sidelined for that occasion. You were commentating. You were up in the grandstand, so you were actually amongst the atmosphere. I was sidelined, so the first half I had them all behind me. And hearing them sing and chant was something special, because you don't really see that in local football as much anymore. It's kind of lost that feeling that even in A-League, it's not the same. It's but this had something very special about it, and everyone was there that were back in the day. They used to support it every week. Brought in new fans as well. I know a few people that actually just came for that occasion, and I think a hook now, which is fantastic. But I've got to also give a bit of respect to both of the clubs as well for the occasion. We know it's not just a rivalry. There's a lot of history behind the events behind it. But the way it all unfolded on the night, respect to both sides.
Yeah, look, both sides on and off the park were excellent for the majority. It was done with a lot of respect. We know there's a lot of history between both Croatia Raiders and FK Beograd. It's been there for many years. Yeah. But the way they both handled it, like I said, for the majority, it was done very, very well.
Absolutely. And even afterwards, I saw Beograd's Beograd players and officials all sticking around. I was left 2 hours after the game, and they were still there, and they were even cleaning up, which is great to see.
Yeah, look, I didn't expect the FK Beograd supporters or players to go in, and I spoke with Surgeon, and he said this is probably the first time he's ever been in the club, because it just never happened before. Yeah. So it was on a respectful level, a majority done brilliantly.
Absolutely. Well, respect out to all of them, and what a great night. Can't wait for round 18, because I can't wait for that. But there's a lot of great games all year, so we hope this can just reignite the people that haven't been able to go back out to these games, like the old fans and all that, can come back out. And even the new ones that are watching on Channel 44, hopefully, that are watching this show can see what local football is like, and just get out there, get to your local club and just enjoy it. There's great food, great people as well.
Well, that's exactly right. Like I said, it's a great advertisement for the local game. If you want to see passion, to me, it's the biggest rivalry, biggest derby in the state. And it showed its full colours on Saturday night with everyone there. And like you spoke to a lot of old faces that you hadn't seen at the grounds for a while.
Yep.
A lot of past players, coaches. I saw them all. Yeah. It was great.
It was fantastic. And even meeting new people as well. Yeah. It was a great night out. So can't wait for that, but I can't wait for more football as we go on as well, because that is what local football is about. It's fantastic, and it's good to have this rivalry back as well. But let's get into the weekend's results as well. Adelaide City, not looking good at the moment. They're in a bit of trouble, aren't they?
They are in a bit of trouble at the moment. They're sitting 10th in the league. There's something not quite right. I hope they can turn it around for the club's sake and for Pezos' plate, because he's been a great coach for a long time. So hopefully they can turn it around.
Where do you think they have gone wrong? Because Pezos is him. We know he's a great coach. They've recruited some good players from other clubs, but do you reckon they recruited in the wrong areas, or what do you think is what's gone wrong in there at the moment?
Oh, look, there could be a multitude of things. Just from the outside, I think the fact they lost Halliday in the off-season, obviously him retiring, he was a big part of that team and what held them together. I think losing him's a big loss, and you're never going to replace a player like that. So it's just one of those things. I think a lot of new recruits, hard to make them gel straight away.
Yep. Well, that is hopefully they can turn things around because we know what a good club they can be when they're on fire. And it's unheard of for them to lose so many in a row as they are. So it is disappointing for them. But let's just quickly turn to back to that game again, the rivalry game. Now let's talk about the football on the park. What a game of football it was. A 2-0 lead for the home side. And some were thinking it was going to be a whitewash, but Beograd, to their credit, fought back hard to get the equaliser. And commentators curse for Croatia's sake. You said Shearer is going to get behind it, and he did, and he scored the equaliser, I reckon, 60 seconds later.
Yeah, look, Shearer is a fantastic player, great finisher. So when he came on, I knew he was there to score goals, and an opportunity come up. As soon as the ball bounced, I thought, if this is Shearer on the end of it, he's such a clean striker of the ball. If it was going to miss, it was only going to miss by millimetres. And fortunately for FK Beograd, it rifled into the back of the net.
And, well, they could have made it even a larger lead as well if they were able to get a couple of goals towards the end. Croatia, they had the opportunities. Stefan Mateo had a couple himself. Yeah. What a good young player he is as well.
Oh, Stefan Mateo, great player. We saw him at Modbury last year. Great pickup for Raiders, and he's proven to be a great signing for them this year. They know how to use him really well when he's scoring goals. But hats off to Josh Kavanagh in goal. Yeah, Stefan Mateo had one-on-one chance with him, a really good chance, and he come up big. Great save. So shout out to Kavanagh. He had a top game.
He certainly did. And let's go back to where Kavanagh was last year. He was at Olympic.
Yep.
They fought back. I thought they were going to lose to Croydon for the first time since 2020. Can't believe it's been that long. Croydon haven't been able to get over Olympic. A lot of people were thinking this was the time because Olympic are in a bit of a weird stage at the moment. They're not doing well. But they, to their credit and to Christy Vangeli's credit, they came out in that second half after being 2-0 down and just really gave it to Croydon and were able to get the equaliser.
Yeah, look, again, 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline in any game, and they've shown it again. Olympic just come out really strong in that second half, managed to get the two goals, and it was interesting. I managed to catch up with someone there that were talking about how it's just little individual mistakes are costing Olympic.
Yep.
If they can cut those out, different story.
Let's take a look at that ladder now as well. Top four, very, very tight at the moment. Can't believe it, within 1 point of top four.
Yeah, look, very tight. And this is what happens is it normally groups itself. So the top four are really tight. Then you'll find there's another group that's really tight. And then down at the bottom, it's another group, and it's normally relatively pretty tight. The scary thing in that league table is that Adelaide City are in that 10th position. And that's quite tight.
Yeah.
Like Souths, and I think it's Souths at the bottom with on 4 points. They're with Olympic. Then it's Adelaide City on 6. So and that's tight.
And just think about it. If Adelaide United did play the A-League game on the weekend, they wouldn't have had all their A-League players in as well, which meant South Adelaide could have been in with a chance for that game. And that would have changed things completely because it would have been Adelaide City, Adelaide Olympic on the bottom of the ladder. And South Adelaide would have been just clear of the bottom two.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Adelaide United, fortunately for the NPL side, they were able to bring some players back. We're not saying South Adelaide would have won, but they were in the game. They only lost 2-1.
Yep.
But when you've got those A-League experienced players, it does make it harder.
And it's good for Adelaide not to have those players, but it just changes the game completely. So
it does.
But, there was a lot of action on the weekend and a lot of exciting football, which I absolutely love to watch. There's more to come. We're going to talk about what the fixtures are in the upcoming round for round 8. Can't believe we're at round 8 already.
I know, it's scary, isn't it?
It's very scary. That's coming up later in the show, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, we're going to take a look at the state leagues where there's some exciting football happening as well. That's all to come on The Local Game. Welcome back to the local game as we get into the nitty-gritty of the state leagues. But Keko's Inbox will be making a return later in the show. Inbox flooded as well as some places in South Australia. But that's to come. Don't go anywhere. But let's get straight into the state leagues. Some firsts this weekend. Some first wins in the State League 1, especially Vipers FC got their first win up against Playford. What a shock for them to get it against a team like Playford.
It was a shock. I mean, everyone I think would have picked Playford to win that, but they've come out strong. They've got the win. Maybe Playford took their foot off the pedal a little bit, but it just shows you anyone can beat anyone in that State League 1. Playford sitting second. And because of that, it's given a bit of buffer between them and Blue Eagles, which Blue Eagles will be loving now, obviously. But it's very tight there.
It's a huge boost for Vipers as well. If they had, hypothetically, if they had lost that, this could have been the deciders think that this is going to be a hard year for them to stay in the State League 1. But this gives them a bit of hope now, doesn't it?
Oh, it definitely does. It tightens it right up because it's very close at the bottom of the table. I think they've gone to 4 points, I think it is now. So, and they're only now one win behind Sturt on 7 points, but that's they're on 4 points. Then it's 7 points, 8 points. So they're not far away now from those teams just ahead of them. So massive win, real turning point for them if they can now utilise that win as their starting point. But otherwise, if they'd have lost that, it would have been a real 6 pointer. They could have. That's a real big gap between them and the team in front of them.
And obviously, Blue Eagles are just miles ahead of everyone, and they're putting themselves in a good place at the moment.
Oh, Blue Eagles are in a real good space at the moment. Attacking wise, they're phenomenal. They've got Dante and Ricardo up top scoring goals. So they're in a really good position, and Playford will obviously rue that loss on the weekend.
Well, we'll take a look at the State League 2 now as we look into the round 7 results. What a weekend, and what a weekend for our boy. We know Alessio Carocci. He loves talking about his results, and finally got their first win this season, and he was over the moon, wasn't he?
Yeah, look, we haven't stopped hearing about it in the group chat for our podcast, so he's loving it. He did pick them to win as well. He knew that he was like, this is our week, this is our week. They picked up some new recruits, got some of their players back from injuries, and they really did a job on Eastern United winning 4-1.
A massive win down there, and they're still bottom of the ladder, unfortunately, but only within 1 point away from Seaford and then 2 points away from 8th place, which is Gawler Eagles.
Yeah, that's the thing. That win has now really closed that gap up, and they get another win. They actually jump the table quite significantly. So.
Yep. Well, they could easily, depending on goal difference as well, they could easily get back into the top 6 if they, with one win. That's how incredibly tight the State League 2 is at the moment. But also sitting in that second bottom place is Seaford, and they've had a shock resignation down there as well.
Yeah, so the chairman's resigned after nearly 15 years. So a bit of a changing of the guard there. So it'll be interesting to see how the club handles that change and what happens for the club moving forward. I know I think it's Galloway stepped in as vice chairman into the acting role, so he'll have to steady that ship. They've also got a new coach, so a little bit of upheaval at Seaford at the moment with some players also leaving. But we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out.
And let's go over to the Women's State League as well, the Go Sunny Solar WSL. You're a close mate of yours, Ben Dale, is coaching South Adelaide. Undefeated this season until this weekend. They got stopped in their tracks by Campbelltown City, who are doing very, very well themselves this year, and a big win for them.
Yeah, look, Campbelltown have been the go-to side in that state league for the women's. They're undefeated, I think, at this stage.
5 from 5.
5 from 5. South had gone into it undefeated, but they did have a couple of draws off that. So it was going to be an interesting game. Unfortunately for South, they couldn't get the result, but Campbelltown just keep marching on. They got a great side out there and great coach.
They do so, and we're looking forward to seeing how they go. They're on track to go for promotion this year. So we'll see how they do head out, but it's still a long way to go. But we do love these early stages because it does shape up what the rest of the season is going to look like.
Especially in that WSL, just shapes up how quickly that's going to turn out.
And now I'm going to head out down to St. Clair Oval, where I caught up with the president of Vipers FC. Down here at St. Clair Sports Ground in the western suburbs, the Charles Sturt region. Great to be here with Adrian Moore, the president of Vipers FC. Thank you for joining me, Adrian. How's the week been?
It's been an interesting week. Sort of most of the action around the club has been off the field, working on obviously some facility upgrades here at St Clair, working with the community. So hopefully we can progress those in coming months and get the facility up to support soccer in the region.
On Monday night this week, you were at the Charleston for the council meeting. A big night there. Obviously, there's a lot of media on it, not for your sake, but also because of the Sandford having their situation at the moment with the local city council. But tell us about your scenario at the moment. So you're going through something similar. You're waiting for approvals. You want the community facility. The lights are happening soon. But tell us what's happened out of that meeting on Monday night and what the next steps are.
Okay, well, yeah, we followed the Samford debate, so that was quite interesting, and due to that we didn't get out of there till about 11 p.m. on the night, which was good. So basically what we've got is the state government made an election promise 2 years ago at the last election, and we were fortunate enough to receive around about $1.5 million from the state government to install lighting on one of our ovals here, and also to build a community facility on behalf of the community of St Clair. So it's not just for Vipers use, but it's definitely, obviously, Vipers will have good access to it and make use of it to support the football that we want to do here. With council, it's taken 2 years to sort of come to the table. And what the vote was last night was similar to the Samford one, was yes, we're now going to community consultation for the community to decide whether they want a community facility built in their community. So that's going to happen over the next, it'll probably be announced next week, and the consultation will go for about 4 weeks. So, I'd encourage anyone in the Charleston area, when those notices come out from Charleston Council, to please contribute, hopefully in a positive manner, because, it is designed to be a facility for the whole community. And hopefully we can build it, and that'll be probably stage 2 of a stage 3 approach to moving high-level football back to St Clair into this community.
So stage 1 obviously is the lights, which is going ahead. Stage 2 is the facility, which is for the whole community but run by Vipers. But stage 3, which has been put off for a little bit, is the fencing, which will allow you guys to finally play home games here. How far off are you from that, do you reckon? And what's the next steps for that?
Well, we know fencing, and we know with Comet's experience, fencing is probably the number one subject that sort of gets the reaction and gets both negative and positive reactions. So, before sort of going down that road, we know that we've got to do a lot of consultation around the community. We know, we work in partnership with Woodville High School, and, the ovals at St Clair, who are actually school ovals as well. So Woodville High School are really supportive of, putting some infrastructure around the ovals that we're looking for. So yeah, when we get to that, I think sometime in the next 6 months we might look to raise that back into the community and say, well, is this something that you could sort of support or not support? We're not talking about, permanent fencing 12 metres high. We're just talking similar pitch fence to go around the main playing pitch. And really we can work on solutions as to how we then do the perimeter fence from there.
Well, for local football, I think it would be fantastic to have the facility here for first of all, because obviously it will help benefit the club, benefit the juniors and all that, and I think everyone will hopefully get behind you. What's the way to get involved? If you are in the Charleston region to vote, how can they go about it and get involved?
Yep, so Charleston Council have their Your Say at Charleston webpage. They tend to put out the notices on their social media posts, so you can access it from there. Us as a club, we're pretty active on Facebook and Instagram, so we'll be keeping people informed on those. Internally within our club and to our members, we have an internal app that we communicate with, and we got some like 800 subscribers to that, so we'll put out messages through that as well. So yeah, it's just a question of sort of looking out for these things, and then we'll look to do that. And I guess for the football community, it's we can be competitive as anything on the park, but we all know how difficult it is as clubs to get facilities, and hopefully we can get some support from the football community.
Well, like we saw for the comments, let's hopefully we can get the same for this thing. It will be great for the Western Suburbs. All the best, and keep an eye on our socials as well. We'll try and help you guys out throughout the weeks as well. But have all the best with the next step.
Thanks, Johnny, and congratulations on the show. It's great stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great insight from Vipers, and we wish them all the luck as they do try and get the facility up and running, because we want to go down there and watch some football down at St Clair, their home.
Yeah, it'd be great for them to get their home, like Comets and some of the other teams that struggle, even Fulham to a degree as well. It'd be great to get their home ground and play there.
where they got all our backing. We hopefully they get there soon. And we don't go anywhere on the other side. Keko's inbox makes a return. Plus, we take a look at the WNPL results and also the upcoming fixtures for the leagues this weekend. Welcome back to the local game as we get into the final stages of the show. And we always know the final stages of any football related thing is always the most exciting because anything can happen. It's almost like the, injury time.
Yeah, time added.
That's it. But, we're not too far away from wrapping things up, but we've got some more football to talk about on the weekend. The Go Sunny Solar WNPL was in round 5 already. I can't believe it's like I say with every league, I can't believe how far this football's coming, and it's going to be end of the season soon. But I think it was a great weekend for Salisbury Inter, especially. They would have loved it. They finally back on their winning stages again after getting their first win in round 4, but now backing it up with the second.
Yeah, look, massive result. And we thought once they get their first result, it'll kickstart their season. 2 on the trot now. Now it's a chance for them to really just catch those teams and watch out.
Well, disappointing loss for West Adelaide, though, unfortunately, against Comets, who are another very strong side. A 3-0 win for Comets, but West Adelaide, despite the loss, are still sitting comfortably on top with goal difference.
Yeah, sitting on goal difference by, I think it's about 4+ goals. But really surprising result. It would be a close game, but 3-0 is a commanding result in the end. So a little bit surprising.
Yeah, very surprising. We'll take a look at that ladder as well. Like I said, West Adelaide are sitting nicely on top at the moment. A very strong side, especially with Nicole Blacker back in the side there. They're doing very well this year. It's great to see from them. Very tight at the top. Obviously, 3 on the same points. I'd say the outlier out of the 3 would probably be Berkella sitting there up the top as well.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to be that high.
Definitely not. And we're not surprised. I'm very surprised, by the bottom of the ladder as well. Will Sturt, if it wasn't for that the 3 points being given to him because of the Comet situation, which we discussed last week in the show, that would be on the bottom place. But Sturt, unfortunately, are sitting bottom with only two points so far this season.
Yeah, look, Sturt, it's always going to be tough for them to come into the league, but with those 3 points sort of given to them, it's helped them a lot. Uni, really surprising, 2 points, bottom of the table. A lot of work for Jason to turn them around. Well,
let's take a look at now the upcoming fixtures for this weekend. There is no Go Sunny Solar or WNPL or WSL this weekend because we've got the WNPL WSL Cup. Yeah. It is back. I love the Cup action. Let's take a look at some of those fixtures as well this weekend. One that stands out the most to me is Adelaide City, Campbelltown City, WNPL versus WSL. But a very good match and an exciting football, I reckon. It's an exciting game of football, I reckon.
Oh, it's going to be a great game, I think. Campbelltown, obviously, flying in the WSL. Great team, great coach. Adelaide City doing really well in the WNPL. And it's always a battle between those two. So it's going to be an exciting game. That's the one to watch.
Yeah, that is going to be the one to watch. Make sure you head out to that one if you can to watch it because it's Cup as well. So a lot on the line. If Campbelltown can win, that's going to be a massive shock.
Be great.
I don't know if Ali will be coming on very soon anyway to co-host again. But, let's look into the men's round this weekend. The RAA NPL SA fixtures for round 8. As I said, I can't believe we're there already. But Comets versus Modbury, 2nd v 3. That's a big clash there.
Yeah, look, top of the table, 1 point separating the two on the exact same goal difference. So massive game. Really looking forward to that one.
And also Thursday night football. Anzac Day again. Last year we had all the games jam-packed into Anzac Day. But this year it is great to see that it's a standalone fixture because we know FK Belgrade do it very well. A respectful day, but it's a whole event now for them. And they're very excited. They're going to be doing a big live broadcast now, which is going to be fantastic. Pre-game show, post-game show, and all the nitty-gritty stuff as well. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, but also Legends match before as well. So a little bit of a homage to the past as well.
Yeah, exactly. Great way to do it. Great day. They do the Anzac Day clash really well. It was beautiful and well presented last year. So follow that on, and they've obviously added the Legends game, which is I love a Legends game. I wish they could broadcast that as well.
Yeah.
And they've got Michael Brooks on. I think he's on co-coms with you
Yes,
this
it should
weekend.
be, yep.
It should be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Robbie Saraceno's in there as well. I think even Damien Murray, I'm pretty sure. It's going to be some big names out there. So if you can head down now, go down and watch that, especially. I think it kicks off about 5:15-ish, I think. So head down to that. Big event down there, and they do it very well. Well, let's head into the... it was last week. It was a debut, but it's back again. It is Keko's Inbox. Well, over the week, I did put the call out for people to send stuff in. If you find anything, I did say if the lights turn out like they did in Tarnier, or maybe if the sprinklers go off like they did at Beergrad, I just said that hypothetically. I didn't think it would actually happen, but I got something sent in, and apparently there's a copycat on the loose. Well, we had the Beergrad water sprinklers that went off a little while ago, a couple of weeks back now. It was a very hot night, so it was very welcomed. But it happened again, and this time around it happened at Service FM Stadium. We had this sent in, some footage from the game. It happened, but on the sidelines this time, and all the dugouts copped it.
Yeah, not only did the dugouts cop it, but the stadium as well, the grandstand, those sitting front row got wet as well. So hilarious.
It is. Well, there's a copycat situation there. It's local football, isn't it?
Technically, can't expect anything but the unexpected.
It is. What would you do if you were in that situation and you got wet? Would you just be...
I'd be annoyed. I'd be running, mate. I'd wet my shoes. That's not good.
I love the fact as well, if you take a close look as well, everyone from the dugout either ran away or they're all hiding in that tunnel.
Don't blame them. If that's where I was, I'd be right with them as well.
Oh, mate. Well, thank you for sending in keeping an eye out. Keeping an eye out every week as well, because you never know what can happen. I remember there was one game I saw someone driving up the hill at Martin, couldn't get up there, ended up making it on Football Australia's pages, everything.
That was a couple of years ago.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
End up sliding.
Yes, it ended up sliding down, and we kept on cheering him. It was great fun. But if you see something like that, send it in. That's what Keko's Inbox is all about. It's a platform for you to share some of the funny things you see at local football. Well, let's get back to Press for Time with Antonis Pagonis from Front Page Football. Let's hope he's got a torch with him this week.
Lights are back on this week, Johnny, and it's great to be back. And it's also great to have Joey's back from the trip to Italy. Amlani Tatu, Marlua Nicola, and Fazer Kasumovic, who took part in the win over an under-16 Switzerland side and fell just short in a loss to an under-17s Inter side. Good to have him back in SA.
Well, thank you, Antonis Pagonis from Front Page Football. We always love your stuff on Press for Time, and it was great to actually see you the whole time this week. Mark, pleasure having you as always, and enjoy your football this weekend. Hopefully we'll see you out at a few games.
Yeah, I'll try and get out to one or two. Maybe we'll see how we go. But no, enjoy your football. Massive call on Thursday, so enjoy it.
Thanks
for having me.
No worries. We'll see you all soon. Episode 10, we'll see you for another, hopefully 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever it is. But we'll take it in small stages. Have a great weekend. We'll see you all next week.